We're filming a podcast right now. Love you guys.
My mission in life is to serve people. I know that's my mission. And I've lived lives. I've built companies, I sold them. I've done things, I've made a ton of money. So like that those are seasons I had to go through.
With.
Have you ever held $1 million cash?
No, I've never held $1 million cash, no.
It's not a lot of money, bro. Yeah.
Do you mind if I punch it?
I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit! Oh!
CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion.
A lot of the conversations, because I pick people up all the time from the airport to bring them to the office or other stuff, and it's just like one-on-one, just in the car, man, you're chilling and you're doing good things. So I usually go to the Strip, unless there's a place you like to go. This is your area.
We could just drive
around here,
like drive towards like the Raiders.
Perfect.
Play stadium. Just because it's like not as crazy as the Strip right now.
That's probably better. Wherever you're, this is your neck of the woods, man. So, Joseph,
cool,
good to have you at the CEO InMotion podcast.
Yeah, man.
Last time we saw each other, I was at your podcast.
Yeah.
Trailblazers, let's go. So, how's life been since then?
Bro, it's been fast paced. A lot has happened.
It has changed a lot, huh, man?
Yeah. It's crazy how much could happen in a short amount of time.
Life turns around quick, man. So, how's your family?
Family's good. We just got back from vacation. We were at Tahoe for my birthday last week.
Yeah.
So snowboarding.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah. How are you?
Is it still nice out there in Tahoe?
Dude, we the day we left, the day after they got hit with the winter storm. So they got hit with like 5 feet of snow.
Oh, okay.
So we missed it.
You guys missed right after you left, man. Because it kind of got weird towards the end of February.
Yeah, and then all the winds that were here in Vegas, crazy.
Did you see the pools? Like because I follow like a lot of Vegas pages.
Yeah.
The pool season, I mean, it looked like it was the ocean with all the wind and everything. Shit was flying, the umbrellas, the security guards couldn't move, and it's just so funny when you put like these like movie theme songs as the background, and it looks like you're watching the movie Dune. Like it's all like dusty, and people get super creative, man. And Vegas it's awesome. There was a guy with a lightsaber on the on the street. That's why I love going to the Strip, because I was like, I feel like the Strip is like its own character.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's different every time too.
Every time it hits, some nutter comes out with something cool. I was filming with another guy, and like he turned out, she's like, did you see the guy wearing a Frankenstein mask playing the drums on the sidewalk? And I was like, where else are you gonna get that kind of like interruption in the middle of in the middle of something? So the Strip is definitely it's definitely a trip. So towards the Raiders, which way am I going?
You just go straight, man. You
all the way straight down?
Yeah, you just stay on this.
Sweet,
go all the way straight.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you started a lot of brands in the clothing, and when you started, you were hustling, man. It was the guerrilla. There was no Instagram. There was no let's go viral with a video. Let's change the filter.
Yeah. It kind of feels like that's where I'm at again.
We're going straight like into people handing in. So explain what guerrilla marketing is in case somebody doesn't know that.
For those who don't know guerrilla marketing, it's a big gorilla. I'm just kidding.
We should dress him up. Yeah.
2,000-pound gorilla. No, it's when you do things that are more on the ground. Mm-hmm. Like walking up to a business or handing something to somebody.
Grassroots. You connect directly with a person.
It's so good because like my brand you see here, Be All In. I was supposed to sell this brand in 2000 last year. Sale didn't go through, but the buyer held my I can't get into the social media, and I can't get a hold of him. So
you can't get a hold of the buyer?
No, so
you don't have his info?
The brand was in escrow, right? The brand was in escrow. I was using a middleman to broker the deal.
Yeah.
The dude pulled out, didn't want to buy the business, but I had already changed everything over to his request. So
the brand, you're talking about the passwords.
Yeah,
and
so all my
else?
social media, Shopify, email, it was already transferred to the buyer.
Okay.
That was a part of the escrow. Everything's transferred.
Part of the agreement. Okay.
Right. Well, hey, here's a business. It's yours. Everything's
And he
transferred.
pulled out at the end.
He pulled out at the
Fuck.
end. And I'm having a hard time getting a hold of him. Anyways, that will be solved soon.
Uh-huh.
But in the meantime, I am giving out product to every and anybody. So I see my Be All In hats on ads. I see them on other podcasts. Like, I see them everywhere, and other people are seeing them, and people are like, yo, where can I get that? And they don't know where to send them. So the good news is 2 parts. One, when I start running ads, once I get it back, everybody who has seen my hats on Sean Kelly's podcast or wherever they see it, they're like, man, I saw that hat here. Now I can buy it. So
So right now they can't buy it?
They can't buy it. You can't buy this hat anywhere, dude.
So you're doubly, like, the seller didn't go through it, and you're preventing from some sales right now. But that's...
Yeah. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but it's building up, sort of like a...
It's building up hype.
Yeah.
But that also, what happens...
That's cool, because once you run the ads...
anyone else's business is, like, if you give out product and people wear it, now people are seeing your product on someone else. Like, your business InMotion is about digital billboards. Mm-hmm. Well, people are billboards, too. Like, humans are billboards too. You give them the right product, they wear it.
You wear your brand, your everything. I don't have my InMotion hat, but I've talked to you about a story about just wearing my hat, and then somebody recognized my car with the same logo.
Right?
Yeah, and I ended up making a $250,000 sale.
That's crazy.
Not right on the spot, but a couple months down the road of just meeting that relationship from wearing my brand. And so I love that yours is, be all in, but it's also ballin'.
Yeah.
So it's all good, man. Be all in, ballin'.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Grassroots is kind of where I'm at because my Instagram got hacked. And I still can't get back into it. And so I'm like having to start with like nothing.
It really feels like step one, but you got all these years of experience. Because you've built multiple brands.
Yeah, relationships. But it's one of those, it's like a double-edged sword because I have this knowledge. I have knowledge of like how to do social media right. Mm-hmm. But it's like a lot of freaking work, dude. When you start from zero, it's so much work to the point where like I haven't even full force went on my brand because I've been building up my catalog and building up the content of what I want to see it. Because I know the one thing about social media is if you build momentum and you can't sustain it, you could lose it, and the algorithm
chops you, man.
Chops you.
Yes. It's unforgiving. Like whenever I take a few days or something happens and I'm just like in conference mode and I come back at 1, 2 in the morning, I don't want to like post.
Yeah.
And 2, 3 days go by and there's something that's like, this video wasn't bad. Like, what happened here?
Yeah.
And then someone was like, okay, this video's not gonna do well, but I've been posting, consecutively for many days, and it just performs. So so the algorithm knows how to get you to post, man. It knows how to punish you if you don't, basically.
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
But that's cool. You're a man of God, and I appreciate that, and I am too. And God first, and all the things. And if you put Him first, things will always work out.
Yeah. They won't always work out. And I say this because I was just having a conversation with a good friend of mine. I was asking him how he was doing. He's new to Christianity, and I was like, man, like, how is it? He's like, what I learned, and this dude's a very successful person. Like, he's mega successful. Like,
you can't say who he is?
I can't say his name.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want. He's new to faith.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say it, but I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
Mega successful gentleman, and he told me what he learned in just life is never going to be good. So he took that like not that it's never good, but he's like, life will never be 100% good. There's always seasons. I've learned seasons from him. I've learned you always have to prepare for a bad season in business because you don't know when it's going to come, and it always comes when you least expect it. So he said he went into faith with that mindset of like, God is great, but if I become a Christian or if I'm surrendering my life to Christ, I'm not going to expect that God is great 100% of the time. Because
things do happen. A lot of times people blame
but it's
God do this, but it's
not like
really us people sometimes doing those things.
100%. It's us. It's
You know,
There's
it's
so
the
many-
consequences of our free will, that
Yeah.
the actions that we take, and all these
Yeah.
different things. But I'm curious, so, you know, you have worked with, you know, really big names and people, so
Yeah.
it's funny because right now maybe I can mention some, and
Sure.
these may not be related, but I was getting a message from Billie Jean's team up in San Diego, so we're both from, you know,
Yeah.
Oh.
Siri's listening to this.
Siri's always listening.
You said Billie Jean and Siri.
Colin, right now. No, so and I remember because I lived in San Diego too, and we were about the same age, and you know, I saw when he was hustling too, man.
Yeah.
And nobody believed him, and he was just strong in his like conviction, and then all of a sudden I saw him on stages, and all of a sudden he's hanging out with Tony Robbins, and all of a sudden I was like, my mind was like, wow, he's done it. He's provided a beautiful family
Yeah.
life, right?
Yeah.
You've done that, you know, Bradley, you know, right now you're just talking about like big podcasters as well, and you know, all these things that you're a connector. You know, you connect with people vibe with you.
Yeah.
They know you're legitimate. They know you're fucking honest, and that's kind of like, I think that's what makes people separate them from other people. So what do you think about that, or about honesty and relationship building?
I mean, to answer, like, to be
answer honestly.
honest about honesty, it's hard, man. Like, it's hard
so
to be
true.
honest. It's hard to,
So true.
you know, you have to learn it from not being honest. I think that's how I learned it, because when I first started, I'm not saying you're lying about what you do, but it's like, I remember, you know, lying about, not lying, you know, let's just be real, lying about like, you know, how many years you've been in business, or trying to lie to look a certain way when you're networking with
The
people.
appearance. Am I going left, right?
You go straight. Yeah, just go straight.
Keep it going.
Yeah. You know, it's just, you learn integrity over time, and you learn that, hey, if you're not honest, there's a consequence to it, and you may not see a consequence in the beginning, but consequences always come. It's like karma. Karma always gets you no matter what. It may not happen in this moment, but it'll happen.
And it's cool to pump yourself up, but we're not saying like, hey, listen, like, because we hear about the stories about like the Steve Jobs or the Bill Gates, that they started a business in this little like, you know, warehouse, but they were like, oh yeah, we got this, I got you, and I shared my story where like I completely I put the name Media Group in the company InMotion Media Group, because Media Group sounds big.
Yeah, sounds
but
big.
It was just me, man.
Yeah.
It was just like I was a solopreneur crushing.
And that's what I mean, is like in the
Media
very
Group makes it look
beginning,
good.
is like I remember saying like, yeah, this big company, and it was just really me. But in hindsight, like if I were just said, hey, it's just me, more people would be like, yo,
They
let me help.
love
Like,
that. They
people
love that, yes.
to be a part of a growth journey, but if it's like you're so big, then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
you
I
don't
can
really
help
need
you.
my $30, my $40.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey man, listen, I'm a solopreneur.
Yeah.
I got some kids. I'm also working 40 hours. You know, at the drive-through. Like,
But that's the thing.
I'm
Like
hustling.
the truth needs to be more marketed as like, hey, it's
cool.
way more valuable to
Yeah.
share where you're at
It's
than
cool
trying
to
to
share the
share
truth.
where you're not at. You know. But also in the Bible it says the truth will set you free, and it's one of those things where it won't set you free like, oh, like you can do whatever you want. It's more like you tell the truth. You don't need to think about it. You know, like, oh, you gotta make up a lie for something else. But if you tell the truth, you're free to just live.
You can sleep, you know,
sleep
without
good at
regret,
night.
man,
Yeah.
without fear. By the way, like if you tap the back of this thing,
Okay.
then it just
Oh,
shows
shit.
like where you are. So
That's
as long
cool.
as this thing is like flashing red, that
Okay.
means we're filming.
Dang, with the GoPros, that's sick, man.
So I have this thing where I have this, you know, with a group of people,
Yeah.
and I tell them, I ask them, like, you know what the hard part about being honest is, and it's that you have to tell the truth. That's hard. The hard part about being honest is that you have to tell the truth, and most people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. They don't want to accept the flaws. Like even just telling yourself good things, most people will look away. If you're a girl, you could be like, hey, tell yourself you're beautiful in the mirror 5 times. They'll look away. They'll look at the wrinkles. They'll look at my eye is not straight. They'll look at something else. And if you're a guy, you know, if you tell yourself you're strong, most people are unable to look at themselves in the mirror and really tell themselves the truth. Where if you put this facade, this actor like to the public you're one face, but inside you're a different one,
Mm.
it will catch up.
No, 100%, man. And like even as a father, like when you're out with your kids, I see a lot of like fathers show up as like this loving, understanding father, but in closed doors, it's like they're not. And I could say that truthfully because there's times where my son, like for example, my son yesterday was throwing a fit out in public. I'm like, boy, if we were in the house, you would not be acting like this. And it's like me as a father, number one, as a man of God, then a father, then a leader, is I have to understand that I have to lead from my family. So if I can't be a loving, generous, understanding father in public and also at home, then I'm actually not being honest. And you know, because everything stems from home. Like however you act at home is, if you're acting like that in the real world, then you're being honest. But if you're not, then you're creating a facade. You're creating a character.
And your kids, how many kids do you have?
3.
Boy,
Yeah,
you
it's
are
a
a
lot of
busy
kids.
man.
A lot of kids.
Wait, what are their ages?
5, 3, and 1.
Oh, okay, so you do have little ones.
Little ones. Yeah, but it's just one of those things where like taking that into consideration, how you show up in the real world, it's like just be who you are in closed doors and you'll live a good life. Like it's in the Bible, like Jesus lived who he was in closed doors out in the real world, and that's why the Jesus brand is so strong. Because he's living the truth. That's why he's the truth. He's the way, the truth, and the light. Like he's the truth because he never lied.
Walking the talk.
He's walking the talk. And if we're, you know, as faith-based entrepreneurs or people, believers, we want to be Christ-like. The place you start is being honest in everything you do. It's hard, but
You gotta tell the truth. That's the hard part about being honest. All right, am I going straight?
you're actually, go. You're supposed to go right.
On the right. All right,
Yeah, then you
I'll
make
turn
it.
around and see if it makes.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing about driving in
Yeah.
an area where I don't know where we're at.
Yeah.
Like Vegas is so diverse. Like we're in the
Yeah.
Henderson area and it's so different.
Yeah.
And Vegas is not big, but it's very different.
I'll tell you this. I thought Vegas was way bigger, but when you actually live here and you got to go through it, it's pretty small, man.
Let me see what's going on that one. I'm gonna turn down the AC because cameras get warmed up. Or
Oh, do
something.
they?
I guess that one turned on is because the sun is right on our faces.
Which GoPros are these?
Oh, bro, for that you'll need to ask JC. I don't put them on. I don't install them. Like all these wires and cables.
Yeah.
So our first podcast
Yeah.
on this was literally him and I trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. Like it was just like, listen, it's almost like an inception. The first episode of this is us talking about the idea of coming up with this concept.
Yeah.
And we're putting it on the cameras and we're talking and him and I have known each other for a while, so we're just shooting the shit and talking and laughing, but really is like, how do we get this to work? Which camera? Like eventually it gets dark, so now we got these little lights on the top and all these different
that's
things.
What those things are.
Yeah, so every iteration, like there's new things that you know that we learn.
Did
that
you
we
guys
improve.
take this concept from someone else?
Let's see.
Oh.
Well, you've seen carpool karaoke, no?
Yeah.
So some girl, I mean, I don't know how your singing is or how, but some people I get them in the car and the Tesla has a feature called karaoke. So we're really just singing in the car, but we're talking about business and it's kind of cool, you know. It's kind of cool to like see people's reactions and, like I said, the strip it's its own character.
Yeah.
It knows, you know, there's always something new going on or whatever, new construction, new building, new whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea is to get a full season out, put them together, and then start releasing them like a week at a time. And a lot of these like they're just like this, man. It's just like a guy, two people basically talking to each other, like, and that way it gives a different background every time.
Left right here. Yeah.
Sweet. It gives a different background than my studio or my place or going to a podcast place. That's always going to be the same background or the same story. So yeah, and you know, as a business, like, there's a lot of failures. Like, what are some of those experiences that you've had building clothing brand?
Well, in business generally, all the failures I've had always came from Well, there's 3 parts. One is partnering with the wrong people.
Oof. Yeah.
You know, because it's like you have expectations, and when you partner with somebody, like, now I can finally do this, and this person does that, and we're gonna do some big stuff.
It's supposed to be a partnership.
Right, and it's, you know, there's, I would say 10%. So out of every, you know, partnerships, 10% of them would actually work. 90% of partnerships will fail. And I've been
that's
through.
a sad statistic.
Yeah, it's probably way worse than that. I'm just being generous, to be honest.
You're being kind
I'm
to
being
others.
kind, man. I'm giving you hope. But I just feel like majority of my failures came from partnering with the wrong person. And then secondly, undervaluing what I could do in a certain amount of time. So like I would undervalue what I could accomplish in a week. And so I'd set what I could do in my mind. I'll set it for like 2 months and then realize, man, I've been spending unproductive time trying to get something done where I could have just done this really quick.
You
know?
really like, so the deadlines that you're setting yourself.
Yeah, I think you go left at this light.
Gotcha. So
Yeah, just in
where
business.
are we? We're gonna run by the Raiders Stadium?
Yeah, the practice stadium.
Oh, cool. Wait,
Yeah.
can we go in and like tour around?
Maybe. I mean,
That would be
we'll
fun.
see.
See,
We're like, hey guys, we're here to interview a Raider player. Hop in.
let's get in there. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Are you a Raiders fan? You like football?
I'll say this. I've never been a team fan just because I can't like get into.
Just one team.
Well, no, I mean like I can't like focus and be a part of like the sport culture of like watching every game and like being a part of it. That obsession I have is for business. So I don't have like capacity to.
Yeah, there's no more like storage to like get the teams, the statistics.
But I'll tell you
and
this: if
everything.
I were to choose a team, it'd be the Raiders. Not because I'm in Vegas, but because I've always admired their brand
It's a
since
good brand.
like Los Angeles times. So it might be the next light you turn left on.
Got it. Yeah, they have a strong brand, whether it's a
Yeah.
good or positive team, whether they kick ass or they suck.
Yeah.
I don't particularly follow sports as much as you,
Yeah.
like you're saying. I like them. I used to
Yeah.
when I grew up in Mexico. I used to watch soccer all the time.
I think it might be down more. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me just put it on my phone. Raiders.
You can type it in here, bro.
Yeah.
And just put whatever it is. I have no idea where we're going. There's a
neither
Del
do
Taco.
I.
If you're hungry, we'll do a drive-thru.
El Taco.
I'm sure if you're where I am right now.
Raiders Way. That's
Do you
it.
like coffee?
I do like coffee. All right, yeah, it's the
Damn,
next
it's
light.
busy
Oh, you
here.
turn left on the Raiders Way. That makes sense.
Oh, they even have their own street.
Hey, they got money.
Ooh, what's that Founders Coffee? What is that? Drive-thru Founders Coffee.
It's next to Subway, so I don't know if it's good.
I love Subway. What
Oh,
do you
do
guys
you?
Yeah. I literally have like 10 videos about Subway and how good it is. And
Wow.
I wish they would sponsor me with like a $50 gift card. I'd be so happy with that.
Hey, man, Subway might be the sponsor for the podcast.
Yeah, man. Egg whites, green peppers, onions, toasted with that. Throw in some black olives and jalapenos, mustard and oregano.
Dang, got your
And
sandwich on
that's
lock,
my
bro.
breakfast. Oh yeah, the guy already comes in. He already knows me. It's funny.
That's
yeah, talking to smack. But I don't care. And it's weird because I pull up in this car and people like. I mean, it's a car that's flashy.
Yeah,
you know, it's meant to be looked at on purpose because I
Yeah.
want people to look at
Yeah.
my ads and the
Yeah.
business in the back. So I'm not definitely like a flashy type of guy. Like I'm not. But I want the car to be looked at. So,
Yeah.
so whenever I roll up to those, man, or I do some shopping at the 99-cent store. I'm not gonna lie. They got some like great hot sauce, man. Some Mexican hot sauce that I can only find there. And so I go
Wow.
there and grab some things, and people look at me because I'm rolling up in the multicolored Tesla over there. And
That's funny. I heard you guys you're gonna get a Cybertruck for this.
I ordered the Cybertruck.
Oh, did you?
It's my screensaver on my phone.
That's sick.
I've been waiting for 4 years, man. So hopefully, there it is.
Wow. So you went into Tesla and ordered it?
You ordered online. It's so.
Okay.
I only put down $100.
How does that work?
Well, you put a reservation of $100 4 years ago. There was 1 million of them, so they made $100 million in 24 hours.
Wow.
And then with that $100 million, they create production, facility, and everything. And then after 4 years of iterations and scaling, they started releasing the Cybertrucks last year in Q4, and now all the celebrities have them. Like, if you're you're having it, and it's gonna be on paparazzis, on shows, athletes. You're gonna start watching it on rap videos. YouTube's gonna go crazy with all the videos of people shooting stuff at it, dunking in. It's its own like a celebrity. Like the Cybertruck has become an a star celebrity, whatever you want to call that. And yeah, people just want to be seen in the Cybertruck. And for the same reason, I've never been a truck guy. Yeah. But I just want to call attention to the business. Yeah. And there's nothing better than that. Like I exactly what you were saying. Like we are our own brand. You've seen. Is my backpack on? Whatever. You see the Instachava backpack.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You have you're always wearing your own brand. Yeah. People are gonna ask you, where'd you get that hoodie? Like, oh, that feels real nice. It's great quality, and so you are your own walking billboard, right? And you're a representation of what you're wearing, or what you're wearing is a representation of who you are. And so I'm looking forward to whenever it comes, bro.
Yeah. When do you know you're gonna get it?
Well,
and is there like so people pay $100, but what if people are not even qualified to purchase the Tesla? Like, do they just keep that 100? Is it
that $100 is non-refundable? Yes. But
oh shit!
There are now 2.5 million reservations for this thing. It's the most anticipated product of all time. There's never been in anything in history a 2.5 million pre-orders on any product, let alone a fucking car that's like $100,000.
What if 70% of those were little kids? It's just all $100.
Oh, you gotta have a credit card and obviously be an adult. But and it's true, 100% of them are not gonna go through the reservations. But even the scaling, they're trying to do 250,000 a year. That means if nobody orders one in the next 10 years, it'll clear out. Like, it'll take 10 years to clear out the demand that there's currently in the queue. Not everybody, you're saying, is gonna go. The price has gone up since they actually mentioned. So they said it was gonna be like 40, 60, 80.
Yeah, it's like 70.
But then inflation 90, went like 60, 80, 100.
Yeah.
And right now you can get a very.
That's Tony Robbins' airplane.
Wait, which one? The one with the Lucky?
Yeah,
with the Lucky Leaf with Live Lucky? Oh, where's my hat? That's so sick.
Yeah.
That's so cool to just have a private jet. Yeah. Just waiting for you.
I think Grant Cardone's plane is over there. 10X plane.
Have you been? Have you met those guys or been in any other in a private jet?
I've been in a private jet, but I've never been to that airport. There's a.
Oh shit! So this right here. Hold on, because I have a truck that's following me up my ass. Can we pull in? Oh, there's definitely not. Yeah, that's a gate, bro. And they won't even let me make a. They don't even make me left a U-turn. There's no way anybody can make a U-turn. What is that? That's. All right, so you guys can't see that, but I want to make a quick film on this.
Fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization.
All right, we pull up to the Raiders thinking that we were gonna make it in. This is where the Raiders train. That's a cool with the fire. But once you're in here, you can't even make a U-turn. Gotta throw that reverse. Okay.
That's cool.
It does look pretty cool, man. The fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Do you know who Al Davis is? Is that the founder?
I have no idea who Al Davis is. Probably.
They have the AL right there, yeah.
Comments on this and be like, dude, you guys don't know who Al Davis is?
Oh, yeah, roasted.
I can't tell you who anyone in the Raiders is. Except for Marshall Lynch, if that's even how I'm saying it.
He's got his own torch, so he must be somebody here, bro.
Probably the founder, or maybe star player.
I hope it's the founder. Like, no, there's a lot of new, like, of these mega rich sort of people that
maybe you could make a U-turn and drive near that airport.
Got it. That they're now like buying sports teams. Like, this is like a new thing, man.
Like, what's his name? Who bought the
PBD? Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah, he
part
bought
of the Yankees.
Was it the Yankees?
Yeah, part of the New York Yankees. Now imagine him, and he talks about he's like, I'm an immigrant from Iran, who's now a part owner or the biggest team in
That's
the franchise
crazy.
of the United States.
That's
like the
wild.
Yankees are like the team,
Dude,
whether
I
you're a
remember-
Boston or whether you're, but the Yankees do have a tradition that's
Yeah.
unreal, and he is part owner. And then you got Tony Robbins, part of the LA
Soccer team,
the soccer
right?
team,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people. Will Ferrell and just a lot of big celebrities are getting into the owning of TVs, or not TV, like sports teams. That's kind of cool to get to that level where like, all right, I'm gonna try to buy a team or be a part owner. You know,
It's like buku dollars, bro.
what's that?
Buku dollars. You know
What's
what
that?
means?
No.
Buku dollars is like a phrase. It's like a whole lot of fucking money. It's like FU money.
Buku dollars.
Buy a sports team, bro. You got FU money, man.
Yeah, you got to spare. Your kids are not going on financial aid. The school, they're not applying to the FAFSA.
You go this way.
Yeah, like these
Where's
planes. Oh, this fucking
The other
car's
way.
right behind me, bro.
Yeah, executive airport.
I'll turn around since now I know which way to go. But that's kind of cool that they have this thing right here.
Yeah.
So on the business side, like,
Yeah.
what are some of like the big things that you're mostly proud of? Because I ask people, like, people have a lot of regrets, but what are some of the good successes that you think, you know what, I'm pretty proud about this brand, this product, you know?
Well, I could say this. So I'm 29, and every single goal I set for myself since 18, I've hit every single goal.
That's baller. That's awesome.
But I've also experienced major failures I would never think I would hit too. So like, I guess yeah, man, every goal financially, working with certain people. Like I remember when I was 18, I wrote on my goal journal, I'm gonna work for Tyga. Like I just been I guess as a teenager.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to his music. I'm like, man, this guy's super dope. And I remember just writing.
Good music.
I'm gonna work for him, or not for him, work with him. And at 19 is when I actually started designing for him and working with him.
What? How
Yeah.
did that connection come up?
Bro, it was
That's so sick.
I think I was on Instagram, and I seen somebody he posted, and I clicked his profile, and then that guy was in San Diego, so I followed him, and I just DM'd him like, bro, I'm in San Diego too. I do this, and that. Maybe we could link up. And then he responded. He's like, pull up to Tyga's office, and he sent me a link or an address, and it was off of La Brea in LA. And at 2 a.m. I drove there. So I meet them at like 3:30 a.m.
So it was like a set-up meeting at 3:30
They
in
were
the
just
morning?
chilling at his office. I just pull up.
Did Tyga know, or did you just like
I'm
whatever
sure
they got?
he didn't know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then
You were 19?
I was about to turn 19. So the goal was
Bro,
to work
that's so
with him
cool.
by 19. I was 18 and a half or something. And just learning proper goal setting and understanding that you could achieve anything you put your mind towards.
But you wrote it out, so it was a manifesting play completely.
Every goal from 18 till now I've wrote down on a goal journal, and I've achieved every single one of them.
Wait, tell me another one, because that's pretty awesome. I didn't start goal writing until much later,
Yeah.
but
I'm pretty sure that's Tony Robbins' plane, bro.
But they've come to fruition. How do you know?
It's that lucky. It's that.
Yeah.
I've
is
seen
pretty
that
cool.
on his content.
It is on his hat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his plane.
That's so cool.
I wonder what plane.
Who the other one? The other one looks pretty nice. So we're like driving around the private airport in Henderson. But see, this is good visualization for dream, for goal
Yeah.
setting. Like, because people are like, yeah, you don't need a jet. Like, no, you don't. But achieving that kind of wealth allows you to help that many more people.
Yeah.
Let's say you're broke. What I tell people, and whenever they say like, you don't need more money, why are you focusing on money or whatever? Here's what my definition of like what money does to you. Money gives you options, and that's as simple as I can make it. If I give you $5 and I say, hey, go grab yourself something to eat, you could probably go to McDonald's, you can go to Wendy's, some Burger King, but that's about it. Your options are limited, If I give you a $20 bill, all right, now you can go to maybe like a P.F. Chang's, like I don't know, like another fast food, bigger chains, but you can't go to a steakhouse.
No.
Now, if I give you $100,
Yeah.
oh, now your options increase more. You can go some
100%.
steakhouse, you can get some sushi. So it's not like, oh, money. Yeah, obviously with $100 you can buy a better meal than a $5 cheeseburger. But it's not about like the taste or what you can do, but it's the options that it gives you. You have $100,000 to buy a house. Listen, you can only go in certain locations in the country that will buy you a $100,000 home.
Facts.
You can't. No matter how good you are, how nice you are, you can't get that in LA. You have $1 million, you'll probably get a 1-bedroom in LA or something like that. But $1 million will buy you a mansion in many other places.
Yeah.
And so money to me is what it does is it gives you options.
Yeah.
So once you have more money, you have the options to then give to other people, to create more wealth for other people, to employ people, to give to tithing, to charities, to business entrepreneurs, younger kids, generations, and so forth. And also, like, I help my family a lot. And whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, I like the conversation of money, but also too, like, I'm at this point in my journey that I'm not focused on the money. Although I understand that, like, you have to be cash flowing and you have to be scaling. For me, I'm at this point where
it's just the option,
chasing money, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they go into business not because they're passionate about the business, but because they go, oh, I can make a whole bunch of money selling real estate. I can make a whole bunch of money with Go High Level being an affiliate. I don't even know what the hell Go High Level is, but let's go for it. Like,
it's
like
a platform for CRM, but
I'm not saying I don't know. I know what it is, but I'm saying a lot of people don't
they just want to do it.
They don't know what it is, so they go and do something. I'm at this point where I know what makes me happy, and I also understand that there's a whole, like, if I do it right, there's a huge financial opportunity.
Is that your family? Is that health? Like, what are you focusing on this year? Like, what's bringing you the peace and serenity?
Number one is just understanding my pillars. And my pillars, number one is God. My walk with God is unique to me, and it's different to you. So I'll never say, hey, this is what you should do, because everyone's walk is different. For me, at this season I'm in, my walk with God is clearing out the bad karma I've gained over time. So, like, clearing out bad habits, clearing out bad patterns.
What are some of those? Let's get on some of the nitty gritty.
Bro, like, one is like my health. My health, like, having bad health has been haunting my family for years. Like, my mom has cancer and diabetes. Her mom died from cancer and diabetes. Her sister died from cancer and diabetes. And, like, being overweight has been in my family.
All in
ABB. That's sick.
Just put a B in there.
I know, right? Just spray paint it, bro.
So hold on, let me put this on the video too, because there's a lot of things that these cameras don't capture.
Yeah.
But let me show you guys. So this is what actually the setup. This is what the setup looks like. And I'm here. Let me see your hat.
Right here, dude.
There it is. Be all in, and then we're pulling up, talking about, like, signs and that's all in aviation.
Yeah, that's
pretty dope. That's cool, man.
Yeah, this was meant for us to drive through here. You could probably drive back, because
we're stopping at Founder's Coffee, bro. We're doing the drive-through.
Right, let's go.
We're doing the drive-through at Founder, because I put coffee near me and it popped up as number one. So
go for it. Maybe I'm wrong. Might be fire, dude.
Hey, if anything, I can always go to Starbucks and get my coffee on the side. they have a Keurig, so they have a $6 meal with a breakfast with a coffee. So good. Starbucks.
You mean Subway?
Oh, I keep saying Subway. Yeah, Subway. Why I keep saying, like,
hold on, man. I think it's
Subway, a sandwich and a coffee for $6.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. It's great.
So just going back to my pillars, man, is God is my focus. My walk with Him, like, getting momentum. I'm the type of person, if I do something, I want to do it to the point where I have momentum and I don't think about it, and it's already a part of my lifestyle. Right now, I'm still building momentum there.
So what are you working right now? Studio, the podcasting, like, what are some of the stuff that you're working on?
So I'll get to, so the second pillar I have is family.
Okay.
Is being who I need to be to pour into my family, and understanding, like, how to show up as a husband, as a father, and then also as a leader in my family. And then 3 is my business. So my business needs to support my 2 core values, God and family. So I'm not chasing money because it's going against what I'm walking with God. I'm in flow right now. I don't chase clients. I don't chase opportunities. I'm in flow.
I like that. I'm in flow.
So, for example, my podcast studio, I've listed it on Peerspace.
Okay.
When is this podcast going to air? Just so I know I can say what I'm going to say.
Probably, maybe within the next 4 weeks or so.
Okay, great. So I think I'm pretty sure I can share what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So,
oh my goodness, there's people following us. Hold on. We're filming a podcast right now. Love you guys. Bye.
you got some friends?
Oh my god, somebody just honked at us. And I was like, who are these rude people following right behind me? And yeah, I think people see the LED. See, you can actually see through the LED screen, but people see the ad.
Okay.
So people recognize it. Anyways, see, these are kinds of things like that. This is the cool thing about just filming in the car, man. Just these quick distractions.
Yeah.
Pop out of nowhere. Some Insta Chava fans.
That's cool, dude.
You were saying, so like you're able to release this information, and I'm getting.
So we get this podcast booking at our studio for like 3 whole days, from like 10 a.m. till midnight for 3 days. I'm like, dude, who the hell books for 3 days? And the lady emails us, hey, we have a famous A-list celebrity we're going to be interviewing at your podcast.
What?
And they sent us an NDA and everything, and I know I can only talk about this because they will release whatever they interview publicly.
Well, I won't do this without your permission prior.
So I'll tell you this. So today I just found out who it was. Like,
oh, so you didn't even know?
Didn't know. So
they send you, hey, I reserved your podcast place. I needed 3 days.
I thought he sent me a picture. So we didn't know who it was, and then they emailed us an NDA today. We look at the person's name who sent it to us. It's freaking Mike Tyson's wife. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, what?
Oh shit! There was a car accident just now.
Man,
that just happened. Like,
yeah,
it must have happened like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, dang.
Man. You guys all right? Oh shit, that was pretty far.
Yeah, no one's hurt though. Thank God.
Prayers.
Yeah, man. But it was Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson's
wife is emailing you
in my studio in the next few days.
Bro.
But check this out. So they book it for 3 days. So they spent like a few $1,000s to book it, but they're only filming for an hour. So that's a flex. So
is that a fact? They don't they just don't want anybody before, anybody after?
No, they just don't know when Mike's going to be available.
Oh,
so they book it for 3 days, bro, the whole day.
We need 3 days.
From 10 a.m. to midnight, because they don't know when he's going to be available to film.
Is that coming up next week?
That's literally tomorrow. So they booked it from tomorrow till Thursday.
Does he live in Vegas?
Apparently, he does.
There's a lot of big people who live in Vegas. I didn't know either. Andre Agassi, I saw yesterday, and there's just a lot of people that live in Vegas. Wow, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen Mike speak twice in 2 different conferences.
Oh, did you?
And once in Miami, and another one in Florida. Both times in Florida, actually.
Nice.
But for 2 completely separate conferences. One was at a lawyer conference, bro.
That's weird.
They brought fucking Mike Tyson at a lawyer conference.
That's a flex, though.
Yeah, and JC is getting behind on the stage, and because JC's got the camera and the equipment and everything, they thought that he was one of the videographers.
They let him in?
Yeah.
Come on in, bro.
And JC's in there, like, right neck to neck with the champ. And the other time was when Patrick Bet-David interviewed him at the Vault conference.
I do remember that.
And he's smart, man. He drops some knowledge, and people.
Yeah.
I follow his Instagram, so I'm actually like a big fan, and he is just strong.
Yeah.
He is still at his age, man, super quick and boss, and it's like, oh my god, this human is equally strong. but very like now spiritual, very like
Yeah.
and funny.
Yeah.
Funny fucking mic.
So what I was saying is like I'm in
that's
flow, bro. So like building a business, like the podcast studio now gets rented out where I don't chase people. It gets booked on Peerspace. It's passive income for me. I'm not producing. They just use a space.
Well, so Peerspace is that what?
It's like an Airbnb, but for like
build-
spaces, like event spaces, podcast spaces.
What do you rent it for?
I rent it out. I think $100 an hour, I believe.
And where people can find it at Peerspace?
Yeah,
And what is it called?
Peerspace. They just search up Henderson Podcast or Vegas Podcast.
Got it. Is there a name to it or
no? There's no.
Do you have props.
It's like Airbnb. You go to Airbnb. You want to rent out a home on a certain area. You go to Peerspace and you want to rent out a podcast studio. You just search in the zip code. There's a bunch of them.
But there's pictures of your space, your equipment.
But the point of what I'm saying here is I purposely did that because this is a business. It's like owning an Airbnb. It's a business model that you don't have to chase. You just maintain.
It just comes to you.
It's semi-passive. So our studio has been getting booked every week. You know, it's income coming in. And
Really?
It's like solid. It's like cool. Like this, I'm at this point where like
so cool.
I don't want to hustle anymore. I rather own assets. So now I have this mindset of creating podcast studios all over the States because I know what to look for. I know what equipment people want. I know the aesthetic people want to do. So now I'm going to do one in San Diego. I'm going to do one in
Perfect.
New York and Miami.
And you have relationships.
Yeah.
And you know what it takes. You know the cost to build one up.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't part of yours, so you know you had the whole equipment, everything set up. So
But it's more passive, man. It's like I'm not going to build a brand. I'm not going to create a social media presence.
now as an asset.
I'm just putting it on Peerspace. Just like you don't buy Airbnb property and you put it on Instagram like, hey, I have this Airbnb home. Like, no, you just put it on Airbnb and it gets rented. It's the same thing with these podcast studios.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait because that's really cool.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, bro.
I'll
like
make sure. Oh, Big Mike, that's so awesome, bro. Like, we'll throw in a picture of you with Mike
I know,
Tyson in
dude.
here. Come on,
Yeah,
you gotta
for
do
sure.
it. Did this place have a drive-through? Cause
I think it,
drive-through, there it is. All right, so we're stopping
that's
at the
connected
world
to Subway,
famous
too, I think.
Founders Coffee next to
Founders
Subway,
Coffee.
and they share a wall. Dude, it looks good.
It does actually look legit. Hopefully it's open.
Wait, is the drive-through for Subway, or is it for
No.
or is it for
it might be
Founders
for both.
Coffee?
That's Founders Coffee.
Oh, okay, because it really is next to the Subway.
They got boba tea here?
Bro, see, come on. I got you on this one. I know. Look at this, man. Look at this. Pastries, they look fancy.
And they're open.
Whoa, Founders Coffee. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome. We saw you while we were driving, and we thought we'd just pop in, and we didn't know what to expect. You looks legit. We
Were you
lost her.
looking for like coffees?
Yeah. We look. I need a lot. I'll probably do a latte. I'll do an. Do you have an unsweetened hazelnut syrup?
Yeah, we do have hazelnut.
Unsweetened.
The hazelnut syrup will be sweet.
Okay. I'll take whatever one that you have that's unsweetened. Vanilla, unsweetened latte.
All of our syrups, they are like mixed with like a sugar base.
Oh, okay.
So if you're looking for something unsweetened, I could just do like a regular latte with just have the espresso with milk. We do have sugar-free flavors if you were looking for something sugar-free, but it'll still be sweet.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Sugar free. Thank you. Sugar free.
And then we do have vanilla caramel if you get for that one.
Vanilla caramel is good.
Okay.
And then I'll do a medium one. And then what about you, my
Hot or
friend?
iced?
I'll do iced this time.
Got it.
Bro, I'm going to do the acai bowl, bro. So I'll do the
Yeah.
fully loaded acai,
And
please.
no poison.
Yeah, we'll do a fully loaded acai bowl.
Fire.
That looks
It
good.
does look good.
Right? Anything else, babe?
I'm excited.
Wait, throw in another acai bowl to go, please.
I'm sorry, what's that one? Sorry.
Can you throw in another fully loaded acai bowl?
Okay, so
to-
two of those.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. Man, they got matcha. They
Anything
got.
else for you?
I think that's it, my friend. Thank you.
Ooh.
Just that?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Of course, I'll have you settle people with it. Thank you.
Bro, that's it, man. That's cool. This place might be the new spot,
This
man.
might be Founders Coffee.
That looks good. What
It
is
looks
that?
legit.
Hello, gorgeous. It says, dude, they even have an Instagram, so I'm gonna give them a shout out. All right, Founders Coffee. Here we go. That looks legit. Whatever that purple drink is. And that, man, this looks
Bro, you might need
legit. Huh?
So you might need to get them as a sponsor.
Yeah. You guys want a sponsorship? Because we talked it up. First we talked it down, and then we talked it up.
I did talk it down. My
You're
bad.
like, it's next
I'm
to
gonna be eating the
Subway.
acai bowl. It's so good.
It's next to Subway, you said. You know when you get like put down by association? Like,
But
that
that's-
girl, you can't hang out because I'm friends with that person.
But-
It's association.
But that's so true. Even in
Yeah.
business, it's like if you associate yourself with a bad brand,
Yeah,
you're a
a
bad-
bad
like,
product,
it
bad
just-
brand, yeah. A bad person, like when you see a person or somebody and then that you don't like that person or for whatever personal reasons, but then they
automatically-
wear a brand that
Yeah.
you used to like, then you're like, oh man, no more. Why'd you have to ruin it for me?
Yeah, so the power of association is so is so strong. I mean, that's why people pay to get into the right circles and you get to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Power of association is so powerful, man.
How'd you come up with the values? You're talking about God,
Well,
family,
you know, it
hell.
was. It's been values I've
ayahuasca?
had for no ayahuasca. Sounds like something like it came from us.
No, for some. No, I have never tried ayahuasca. I've wanted to, but I'm in such a good spiritual
Yeah,
mindset and
yeah.
place that I don't need to venture. I don't have
Yeah,
traumas that I need to
Yeah.
uncover and discard, and
yeah.
I've
For
done
me,
the healing.
it's just like I know. It's like I know when I need to focus. Oh, there it is.
Got those 2 loaded bowls and then that 1 latte.
Thank you, my friend.
Of course, it's gonna be 38.32 for you.
What is your name?
My name's Shay.
Shay. You're awesome. Shay, we're filming a podcast. You're doing awesome right now.
Thank you.
All right. Shay has been fantastic.
What's that for you?
The best in the business. Founders
Yes,
Coffee.
business.
I'll be right up.
Thank you. It'd be so cool if she gets like a raise or she's new and she gets like a little bit like oh yeah, we saw you.
Yeah, man. I think you should get a lot of like Vegas businesses to sponsor this podcast.
Well, you're the first person I've been wanting to do this stuff. Do
Yeah.
the like.
Bro, it'd be dope if like during a podcast you actually drive to the small business. Just like this. Imagine if they were a sponsor
Yeah.
and
I
on the
drive up to
podcast
it.
live we grab the food and like, oh man, this is fire. Like
But how do I get them to sponsor me first and then go to
you
the
show
food?
this. Like you go, look what we did with this episode.
Look how many views
Like-
this thing got. Like this little bit
It's like
about Founders Coffee.
It's like the Keith Lee effect. What if we on this podcast right now, you and I rate this 1 to 10, like we honestly.
Well, we are going to.
Yeah,
You
but-
gotta try
but
an
if it's-
acai bowl.
What if it's trash? Then maybe
Well, it's hard to mess up an acai bowl, bro.
you could mess up an acai bowl.
Are you
I've
an
had
acai
some
bowl
bad
perfect?
acai bowls, dude.
Dude, acai, bananas, blueberries.
Here's how you
there's
mess it up.
Coconut.
Because they blend the acai. They blend
Mhm.
it. There's a place that did it, but they left chunks of ice.
Okay.
So as I'm like, bro, imagine you're about to scoop and
So
eat it,
smooth,
and you're
yeah.
chewing it, and then you're just breaking your teeth with ice, dude.
Yeah, that might have been the person on that day. Shay will never
Yeah.
do that to you. She's on it. Was that her name? Shay?
I don't know.
Oh, we got somebody else who wants to be in the podcast. What was her name? You ain't listening.
Yeah, these guys. All right, let's.
It looks good. Oh, thank you. Wow, that's a cool cup too. What was your name? No español? No inglés? Alright, thank you, my friend. Take care.
But don't you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I totally speak Spanish. I totally think that he was just fucking with me.
I think they're shy.
Yeah.
Maybe her name is Shy, not Shay.
Alright, let's look at that.
Dang.
Here's your spoon.
All right.
That looks dope. Alright.
Founders Coffee,
Ooh,
acai bowl.
let's go. Man,
All right, this looks
that
fire.
does look good.
This
Alright,
looks
well, I'll
fire.
have to eat mine later because I'll just get my coffee.
You guys see this?
Dude, it's got like a little heart on the top. Like this is
Yeah,
like a
man.
nice place.
All right, I'm
Go
gonna
for
do
it,
the
bro.
taste. Let's see.
Alright, here we are at Founders Coffee, trying out live on the podcast the acai bowl. Joseph, honest
Give it a-
opinions.
I give it a solid 7.
Solid 7. Maybe
No.
dig into the other fruit.
It's because the acai, it's like a paste. It has like a paste consistency.
How is it supposed to be?
I like
Smoothie?
mine more like, not like a smoothie, but not so pasty. It's good though.
That's so pasty. Well, you give him a solid 7.
7.
I
say
give you
7.
guys the presentation of the coffee. 9.5. I mean, it's
It looks
cool.
dope.
Yeah, it looks cool. Had like a cool top. It looks legit. It looks more refined.
Yeah.
The taste, I also give it like a 9.5. It's really good. Really good.
All right, founders.
Cool.
Would I
There
come
you
back and try this? Probably.
They got different acai bowls too in there. I saw 2 different kinds.
Yeah. I think it'll be good as it melts. It's less pasty.
Less frozen. Talking about the ice, we were talking about the ice. All right, we're gonna start heading back to your office.
Sounds good, man.
Values are important. Business is important. So now you're just in the flow state. Money's coming to you,
I'm at this point where like
but the serenity, is that what you're searching for right now?
I'm not searching for anything. Like
You're like Zen at this point, bro. Like
it's not really Zen. It's just understanding like, because I've been in the position of like chasing wealth and doing things on purpose to be in a better wealth position, and it broke me.
like it broke you as in it was the grind.
No, it's just like being a person, because if I go back into that mode, then I won't be able to show it for my kids.
Gotcha.
I won't
It took
be,
away from you.
Yeah, it took away from like what really matters to me. It's my family.
It's a big deal. You know that joke that they say like, oh yeah, I quit my 9-to-5 job to be an entrepreneur and now I work 24/7. You know, like it's like that. We're like, oh yeah, I don't want to work 9-to-5, but when you're an entrepreneur and you're not getting a paycheck on Friday unless you grind it out Monday through Sunday, you start seeing things in it with a different lens, right? And it is, you know, it is a different thing.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I still grind. Like I'm not saying I don't work, and I'm not saying
But your focus has changed.
right, but it's more like letting go and letting God. So my prayer every day is, Lord, give me the wisdom to steward the resources and the skills and the talents that you've blessed me with, so I could become an overflow to the people I'm working with, so I could overflow into my family.
Awesome.
I'm not asking for more opportunity, or I'm not asking for, more.
For you.
I understand, number one, my mission in life is to serve people. I know that's my mission. And I've lived lives. I've built companies, I sold them. I've done things, I've made a ton of money. So like that those are seasons I had to go through. Those are seasons. Those are chapters of my book. I'm not going to backtrack if I already lived that chapter. So I'm at this, that's why I said earlier, I'm at this point where I'm in this new season. This new chapter, I have to experience what it looks like to put God first. Putting God first for me means not chasing shiny objects in business. So not doing something just because there's money to be made, but doing something that feeds my God-designed purpose. So going into clothing, if it was for money, I wouldn't be in the space I'm in. If it was for money, I would go back into marketing consulting. I would build a big white label agency under Go High Level. I would become a huge affiliate for a lot of people if it was for money, because that's what I was doing in 2022. But because I'm not chasing money, but I'm chasing God's plan, I went back into clothing because there's a need right now for faith-based apparel, and there's not anybody who's helping these startups to scale. So I have over 15 years of building clothing brands and doing 7-8 figures and doing crazy stuff.
That's so cool. Have you sold one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I've actually just exited from a brand 2 weeks ago.
Good stuff, man. There's just so much to like that you've actually like gotten done so young.
Yeah.
We were talking about your first goal written at 19. I want to know about some other ones that you've done that you've written down. I remember some big ones on my own, but I want to know about yours.
I'm more of a people, like working with or meeting certain people have been more important than money for me.
Perfect. Like what are some of the people that you say, you know what, like that?
So Eric Thomas, for example.
Oh, you met him.
Not only, I mean, for years, I would listen to him. Like, there's been moments of where I wanted to kill myself. And I go to YouTube and just type in motivation. His videos kept coming up. So in 2020, during the pandemic, I wrote a goal and I said, I'm going to work with Eric Thomas. I didn't put a date or a deadline, but I wrote it down and I prayed about it. Next year, some random dude walks into my office in San Diego. And I go, this guy looks familiar. He looks like somebody I went to high school with. Come to find out, his brother is who I went to high school with.
God, okay.
So his name is Blake, his brother's Brandon. And I go, bro, I think I went to high school with your brother. He's like, oh, crazy, small world. So in San Diego, I had a similar office set up here in Vegas and San Diego. So you walk in, you get your product made, whatever. He came in to start a clothing brand. I connected with him at a higher level or deeper level because I knew his younger brother.
Okay.
A few months goes by. This Blake guy comes back into my office to work. He brings in someone that looks familiar. I go, this kid looks like someone I know, but it's not someone I personally knew. I'm like, he looks like Eric Thomas. It's Eric Thomas's son, Jalen Thomas. So I start working with Jalen Thomas with clothes. The next week, he's like, hey bro, can you drop off that hat you made to my dad's house?
Oh, get out.
So I'm pulling up to Eric Thomas's house like, bro, I'm about to meet E.T. I'm going to his house. I pull up, gated community.
San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I love those stories, man. You truly made it, you attracted it. You put it out there. I love that. So it's connecting with people that's been some of your like
people
your
has
masters
been
that you've
always
done. Yeah, that's so
been
good. That's so
a
good.
goal, like has been like a top tier goal. I rather write down goals of who I want to work with than how much money I want.
Than money. So did you get to meet him?
Yeah, met him, done a lot of business with him, had him on my podcast. He's actually sponsoring my next season for my podcast. We got a lot of stuff in the works.
That's cool.
Like,
so you kept the conversations with him.
I could probably even call him right now. He may not pick up.
You kept the conversation with him.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big connection. That's a great person, and
right there.
And he helped you during the
man.
struggle times without him even knowing you. That's what's cool about
I remember
this.
so he flew to Vegas in 2022 to be in my podcast, and I picked him up. I was like, man, you know what's really crazy is I told myself the day I was going to kill myself that if I ever get the chance to thank him. Now, I never wanted to say this in the beginning because it's building the relationship, but I felt like at that time I could finally tell him, like, bro, you actually helped me. So I had the chance to tell him that, and he's just like, his response was like, glory to God. And that's why I have so much respect for him, is he never puts the glory on himself. He never goes, man,
I did it. Yeah,
it's like glory to God. I remember the day I met him, I pulled up to his house. I go, dude, this house is crazy. And I asked him, like, how'd you get this house? Like, because his house was, I was like, dude, this house is pimp, bro. The first thing he said was glory to God. He always says glory to God. He never takes.
I love that.
He never takes credit.
I love that so much. Wow, that's a great one. So, wait, 19 was the first one. How old were you when this happened?
This was 2 years ago. So I was 27.
Dude, keep writing goals, man. they're all coming.
It's always-
they're all coming about.
But
meeting
that's
with
the
people.
thing. It's always been like that. Every single time. All my goals has been always people related.
How'd you meet Brad Lee, or how did you meet?
Same thing. I wrote it down.
You wrote
next-
down. I want to meet one day Brad Lee.
Not
work with
me.
him."
I'm gonna work with him.
That's why you. That's how
Every
you. Every time
time-
it's always working.
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to work with Brad Lee. You wrote it, and then what happened?
We're doing his apparel. We still do stuff with him.
So cool. That's it. But how did that connection came about? Like, I love like connecting the dots, looking back, because
So
you
when
can
I
never
was-
do it to the future.
When I was 16, I was mentored by a business coach, and he told me that you're always one person away from somebody you want to do business with. So never burn bridges. Always build. Always be a person that people edify you when they're in conversations you're not in. So if that's what I do, is I always treat people the way not they want to be treated, but very exceptionally, so they remember me. So when I moved to Vegas, I posted on Facebook, "Hey, I'm in Vegas. Like I moved out here." One guy who is Bradley's partner reached out. I had no idea. He goes, "Hey man, let's link up at my office." He sends me Lightspeed's address. I go, "Bro, Lightspeed, isn't that Bradley?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm his business partner." And it's because of how I treated him when I met him at an event.
So you had met the partner, but you didn't know it was his partner.
I had no idea.
That's so awesome. That's a great point, that you never know who you're meeting, that you never know who you're talking to. A couple weeks ago, I went to this conference, fucking random conference, man. It's for chiropractors, but they had David Goggins speaking. They had
I see
Patrick
that.
Bet-David. They had Simon Sinek. They had Ryan Holiday. Like, they had these like big. Each one of them could have their own like stage, and it's for chiropractors. But whatever. I ended up buying, a ticket, not ticket, a badge. I went and bought myself a badge just so I could be around 6,000 doctors, 90 different countries. Apparently, it's a big conference and a big deal, and I had no idea. But speaking of what you're saying, like, I was just so surprised with this conference and the way they were putting it together and the registration. And I go to all these conferences all the time that I was just saying these things out loud, like, "Oh my God, I'm so impressed with this place, everything." And there was a guy that was standing right in front of me, and he's like, "Oh, you like it?" I was like, "Yeah, but there's 6,000 people. It's a random dude." And all of a sudden, he turns around and he gives me his card, and he's the CMO of the company that puts everything together across the
shit.
country. So he's the one that's like booked, who booked, Patrick Bet-David and all these different
Wow.
people. He just gave me his card. I didn't have to ask for anything, and it was just about expressing and being kind to another person, and then just really like, Dale Carnegie talks about, be lavish in your praise and hearty in your approbation. Always give good praise, always give good instead of like the negative. Just focus heavily on the positive. And I always remember that. Your impact on this guy was so good that when you put out "I moved to Vegas," he said, "Hey, let's link up."
Yeah. And it's not even
So
like,
cool.
people think like you gotta do something really crazy for somebody. You just need to do something rememberable. Like, what I did for
Like
him.
buy an acai bowl for a guy.
Yeah, like, it was simple. Things that I don't remember, but someone else remember. Maybe he was, because I remember buying him coffee. Maybe he was just really thirsty and he left his wallet at his hotel and he couldn't buy it. So, man, I remember you bought me this coffee. Like, I'm not saying that's what happened, but like, you just never know.
Something could have happened, and obviously something did happen where he remembered you. So you guys still work together.
Yeah.
Very cool. Wow.
It's always been people related, man. It's always been like,
I think I'm gonna steal that from you, man.
Yeah.
A lot of my goals are not so much on the financial. There is always a number, a tagline, because I always try to continue to move up, especially the amount of responsibility now that I have within my family and outside of my family, and that I've assumed, I should say.
yeah.
But there's always other things like, visit a certain number of countries or do this or, just different things. But I've never had one where it's
Let me ask you this,
work
bro.
with.
Have you ever held $1 million cash?
No, I've never held $1 million cash, no.
It's not a lot of money, bro. I've had $1 million cash in front of me.
You
And I
saw
looked at it.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I go, this is what I'm effing chasing my life after, for this pile of paper, bro. Like,
That's
if you really put
big
into
deal.
perspective, like one of the guys who works for me, I handed him $10,000 in cash. It was a stack this big.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I've never held $10,000 in cash. I gave it to him. I go, now you have. How does it feel? He goes, doesn't feel like anything.
Feels like weight.
And I go, why are you chasing money? Why are you chasing this? You know what he said? He said, because I want what this money is going to do for me. I got, what is it going to do for you? It's going to make me more happier. It's going to make my relationships better. I go, so it's going to make you happier. It's going to make your relationships better if you have more money. He goes, yeah. I go, why can't you do that now? Why can't you make your relationships better now? Why do you think money is going to make your relationships better? I know what you said earlier is it gives you more options,
It
which
shows
is
the options, yeah.
which is great. But people have this idea that the more money they have, automatically the more happier they become, and
And
that's
it
not
doesn't. Yeah,
that's not true. You have to steward. That's what I said earlier with my prayer is you have to steward what you have in front of you. If you can't steward $1,000, you ain't gonna be able to steward 10,000 and have the same happiness. Because having $1 million, yeah, you'll have more options. But if you can't be satisfied with what you have now, bro, you ain't gonna be satisfied with $1 million.
I agree with that, and I think there is an actual there's studies that they say, you know, up until a certain amount of money, yeah, it can make you happier, and then it just flatlines, you know, because once you cover your basic needs and your, you know, additional expense and everything, like an 8th car is not gonna make you happier than your 7th car. Your 4th house in the Hamptons is not gonna make you happier than the 3rd one, and so there's a certain level where it does peak.
Let me also say too, some people may argue and say, well, the more money I have, the more money I can give people, and my happiness comes from helping people.
Okay.
Then my argument to that, not even an argument, but my opinion is, if you're not helping people, could only go so far. My number one core value in this season is walking and growing with God. If I don't have God in the center, nothing matters. There's no happiness anywhere else. If I don't have God, but I'm giving money to people, I think what will happen is I would be feeding my ego. I would be feeding, let me record this, let me build a brand around giving, because I'm feeding my ego. But with God in the middle, I give in private. I don't give for social media. I don't post it on social media. I don't create, channels about it, because in the book of Matthew it says to give in private.
You don't pat yourself in the back. Look how much money I gave back. And everything.
Literally in the book of Matthew, I forgot what verse it is, but it says to give in private, to not give for theater, don't give to show others you're giving. And if I'm not walking with God and reading the Word, I would never have read that.
Because you're not taught these things in school, or sometimes they're not passed down. There's I can't remember where I watched this or saw it, but they asked probably like 100 people and whatever. It's like, what would you do, with $1 million? And they'd be like, oh, that would, all of my problems would go away. Like, I'd buy this and that. Like, I'd be super happy. And everybody was the same thing. And then they ask them a follow-up questions. What if I give you $1 million, but you don't get to wake up tomorrow? Would you still take it?
They won't take it.
And everybody said like, well, of course not. And I was like, well, then why aren't you happy that you woke up today? Like, if you value more waking up than $1 million, then why aren't you as happy that you woke up today?
Well, the answer is they don't have God.
Well, true.
That's, to me, I don't mean to be like the spiritual answer, but that's just the truth. People aren't happy because they don't have God. God is the center of happiness.
God-shaped hole in people.
You can't be, because if you don't have God, then you have the world. So you have the world to find happiness. So if you don't have God, then you're gonna find happiness in a hobby. You're gonna find happiness in a relationship. You're gonna find happiness in something material.
Yeah, in a video game, in drugs,
Something.
escaping, whatever.
And that's all temporary. It's bandages. But if you have God, then your happiness is spiritual. It's inside of you. It's not external, right? And that's why my answer is that is like my number one core value, because I want to live a life of pure happiness. And I've realized that without God, without being God led and God feared, I will never live a life of happiness.
Maybe it's just semantics, but I saw. I mean, we were in church and they were talking about the difference between happiness and joy, and it's exactly what you said. The happiness comes from external things, things that you acquire, things that are temporary, things that you can buy, things that you can experience, but it can be taken away
Instantly.
But joy is internal. It comes from our maker, our creator, and that one, no one can take that away.
No.
And this has been really cool, man. We talked about we went to the Raiders. We saw a car crash, man. We got people.
This, Founders Coffee. It's still level 7. 1 out of 10. Still a 7. But I devoured this.
But you killed that. Yeah, we hit up the drive-through, man. We got the people that stopped us. They saw us and recognized the Insta Chava
And
mobile.
allegedly, we saw Tony Robbins' jet.
Allegedly, Tony Robbins, jet. This is what's cool, good, real conversations, God-focused conversation. You're gonna have Mike Tyson by the time this rolls out, so that's gonna be super good. That's gonna be so great. Oh my God, that is an A celebrity, man. That's as big as it's gonna get. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I mean, I'm naturally like just big fan. Like that's so awesome.
Yeah, and it's like so random. Like there's so many other studios in Vegas they could have booked, but they booked ours. And I can tell you this, like the amount of prayer I've been doing in my space, just asking God to steward this place. He's been sending so many opportunities, man.
So it's getting booked.
Crazy, and it's the type of people that are booking it. Mm-hmm. Last booking was this really big brand called the National Day Calendar. So they have like this big podcast called the National Day Calendar. They actually have calendars, that's their business. But they booked it. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like every booking that has been happening in our space has been very large names that work with us in other ways. It's not just
end up partnering with you.
End up partnering,
the
getting their product made or whatever.
That's so
and I
cool.
feel that's what's gonna happen with Mike Tyson, bro.
Oh my God.
We're gonna do his merch.
Yes,
We're gonna do his merch.
Yes, let's manifest it right here.
Do his merch. I already know it.
That's so
do
cool.
Mike Tyson's merch, man.
Where can people that are watching this follow you, find you? I know you had certainly just a recent issue with IG, but
I'd say my brand page for now, For Creators Only Studio. That's where my focus is going. That's where you'll see Mike Tyson's collab with us. You'll see it there.
Let's go.
So that's where people can find me.
Awesome, man. Wait, what a cool experience, man. You're father, you're driven, you're entrepreneur, you've manifested shit. You're an acai, connoisseur.
I am, dude. I will tell you if your acai's trash. This was a 7.
You've been on Teslas, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I punch it?
I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, you said punch it. I thought you should have said send it. I would have been ready for that. Dang. Oh, shoot, dude. Now you sent it, bro.
I used to just fucking do that, but then people's neck would just like fucking hit the thing. So at least now I ask people, and I ask them to give me the okay. I had a lawyer, an actual personal injury lawyer, like one of the big guys that you see on the billboards here. And he's like, "Oh, get it!" And he was so stoked. He's like, "Do it again." And I was like, "Aren't you like making a living out of car crashes? Like, what I just did ain't not safe."
Yeah.
And we're doing the strip, man. So I didn't have that much.
That's
wiggle room.
crazy.
Well, that's cool. Well,
That's
there you
fun,
go.
man. This is a good time, dude.
Yeah, appreciate you, man, giving us
man.
some of your time, some of your wisdom. Speaking about things that matter, you know, in the end, you know, we're spiritual beings having a temporary human experience.
Facts.
So let's make the best of it. And God bless, bro.
Yeah, man.
God bless.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank
That's
you.
it. One more episode of CEO InMotion. Here we are, at the White House.
The White House, yeah, for
Bro,
real.
look at that. That looks like
For
a
real.
fucking White House. For
Yeah,
sure.
man.
That's dope. All right, my man.
All right, see you
See you
guys.
guys later.